Welcome back to the Fantasy channel. This is week 4 predictions, and to be honest, I'm pretty excited this week. I'm excited because we have a couple 2-1 matchups, though it's a fluke that I lost, to be honest. It's Tatanka Blanco versus my Diggs Hurts, and when I'm looking at this, all right, when I'm really looking at this analysis, this could be the week that, or could it be, is this the week that I actually project myself to lose? Is it? Nah, it's not. I'm projected by ESPN to win 114.8 to 109.6. I see no way that I lose this at all. The general consensus is in the world that I don't lose it. Excuse me. Let me adjust my hat so you can see my face, so that they can see what the winner looks like. I don't need to go into the roster. The only thing I will add at this point is that questionables. Tank Dell. He's not really that good this year. I know he's a number 2 receiver and had a lot of talent or potential. He has a lot of talent, has the potential, but they picked up Diggs, and that just kind of put him on the back burner. Cooper Kupp is out. Jerome Ford's questionable. Doesn't matter. He wasn't going to play anyway. But all your starting lineup is in, and Deontay Johnson apparently is a guy as long as they have Andy Dalton. A.J. Brown, he's still questionable. Is this my roster? No. Looks similar to my roster in another league, but A.J. Brown is still questionable. Probably is not going to play. Evan Ingram is questionable. He may actually play this week. Anyway, the rosters are what they are. Dak Prescott has the same week he had last week, and if Jennings really is the next Jerry Rice, which I said that he is, and I called that one as I remember, I beat you big. I'm probably going to beat you not by 5 as it says. I'm probably going to beat you by, I don't know, I'm going to go 14. My Diggs Hurts. You just don't have it this week. Let's move on to Laporta Potty versus Jaden Savas. This is This is a big matchup actually. There's a lot of excitement building around this game. Laporta Potty is at 1-2. Jaden Savas is at 0-3. So you best bet this is going to be a prime time game here. A lot of people are on the edge of their seats for this matchup. Just looking, you have Jalen Reed down there at wide receiver. If Love comes back and gives him the ball, maybe he's a thing, but he is questionable. Just checking everybody else. Everybody else in your roster looks good. You do have Ramondre Stevenson, Laporta Potty. That's not going to aid you by. I don't think he's good, to be honest. I think he's terrible. Jaden Daniels is apparently the truth. Jonathan, I'm switching teams back and forth. Excuse me for anybody watching. Jaden Savas, you have Daniels, and you have Saquon Barkley. You have Braylon Allen in your lineup. And then on the other side, Laporta Potty, you have C.J. Stroud. Hopefully he plays better than last week. Jonathan Taylor had a big game last week. Kyren Williams had a giant game last week. So it looks like it's the projection is 128.3 for Laporta Potty. It's 118.8 for Jaden Savas. Like I said, I realize that Jaden Daniels is better than people are saying, but just real quick, looking at your roster, Laporta Potty wins this thing. He goes 2-2 on the season, and you're still 0-4, trying to climb out of a hole. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You got to start someplace. If this year wasn't so terrible, what am I trying to say? Everything happens for a reason. You're going to be terrible this year, so next year when you actually win a game, you're like, oh my gosh, it's improvement. It's like you're Deion Sanders when he took over Colorado and they didn't win a game the year before, and then he took over, and then they won only 4 games, but everybody acted like they could win the Super Bowl. It's kind of going to be like the same deal for that. Pack Full of Love. Now this one actually is an interesting matchup because you're both 2-1. Pack Full of Love, you're projected at 119.7. Big Decker, you're projected at 113.7. But you two, I know you have a couple losses here. Well, the first week you had a Pack Full of Love. You've been crushing people after that. And so have you, Big Decker. So this is going to be, man, this is an interesting matchup because this couple powerhouses. I would actually probably call this one game of the week. I believe that's what I would call it. Aaron Rodgers out there doing Aaron Rodgers things. And, of course, you got him packed full of love. Joe Burrow's terrible. James Cook, not better than Breece Hall. Mason, better than Williams. The first column is packed full of love, anybody wondered. Neighbors versus Odunze. Listen, Pack full of love. You've been crushing people. I don't see any reason why you don't win this one by probably 18 points. I'm going pack full of love on that. Sorry, Big Decker. You're going to have to start playing the drums more because this probably isn't your week. And let's go to Tyreek Blinders to Murray Magic. You guys are also both 2-1 on the year. This is interesting. This uncle nephew matchup here. Both 2-1. It's actually weird because both of your losses came from. And it was bad. And I blew both of you out bad. And I mean bad. It was a bad deal for both of you. So this should be an interesting matchup. Maybe you guys are good. You guys won two out of three, but you just ran up against a buzzsaw. That's the only thing that happened. You know what I mean? Just a buzzsaw. And I mean, it was a buzzing. So what do we got here? We got Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray wins that all day long for Murray Magic, obviously because you changed your team name based on that. You got Derrick Henry, you got J.K. Dobbins. Just real quick looking, I'm not trying to tear you apart here, Tyreek. Daniel Jones is your quarterback. Aaron Jones had a good week finally. Carson Steele's a backup, and he's not great. He's not terrible, but he's not great. Somebody has to throw Tyreek Hill the ball. Nico Collins is good. Mark Andrews hasn't caught a pass this year. I mean, really, 4 maybe? So you look at the other, Kyler Murray this is Murray Magic. Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Dobbins, who's been killing it. DJ Moore, probably terrible. T. Higgins, terrible. McBride, terrible. You know what? I don't want to get too carried away. The projections are 111.9 for Tyreek Blinders and 119.1 for Murray Magic. I actually think that Murray Magic wins this by 5 points, and you can't take it back. Sorry for you, Tyreek. I think you're 500 after this week. Last game here? No, we got 2 more. T-Law's Little Pits versus Pain in the Bass. T-Law's Little Pits is projected 112.0, and Pain in the Bass is projected 123.7. Pain in the Bass is starting off hot this season. He does have a loss, but he's starting off pretty good. Those are pretty good projections. T-Law's Little Pits, I know you're having a rough year because Sam Darnold's your starting quarterback. Now, he is good this year, amazingly, but it's only 3 weeks in, so we'll see what the rest of the season has because I'm not sure he's ever had a solid season that I can recall, but that lets me know where you're at mentally. It's just, I think it's a Jacksonville thing. Your favorite team's 0-3, and I don't know what else to tell you. Sam Darnold, yes, good for 3 games, but it is Sam Darnold, so we'll see what happens. Montgomery's pretty good. Rashad White could be good. Jamar Chase is questionable. Garrett Wilson. Now that Aaron Rodgers is back, that could be a dangerous thing. But honestly, this week you're going up against a pretty powerful roster. He has a couple of questionable guys. Kamara's questionable, but he'll end up playing. Chris Godwin's questionable. He'll end up playing. And then really, I don't know. I mean, he's got guys on the bench that he wouldn't even. He's got so many good guys. Honestly, I don't see how you win this. T-Law's a little pissed. Not trying to hurt your feelings, but you don't got this one. Pain in the Bass takes this one. He's 3-1 after this week, and he probably wins by. Honestly, I'm about to go with what the projection is. I expect him to win by about 11 points. So, Diddy's Disciples versus CD's Nuts. A couple 1 and 2 teams here. It's a heavy matchup too. I've been waiting for these two to play each other. I'm like, man, what an exciting game. This is the most exciting 1 and 2s I've seen in quite some time playing each other. Diddy's Disciples, you have Josh Allen, ETN, Swift, Jefferson, Evans, Kittle, McLaurin, Cowboys defense, and Young Ho. Got that Young Ho in there. So you see these nuts, you got Jackson, James Conner, Mike Sanders, CeeDee Lamb, Pittman Jr., Kelsey, Pickens, Ravens defense, Butker. I mean, just on the surface, though, real fast, as I yelled that real fast, my heart says CD's Nuts has a better roster. Your projected 108.2 and Diddy's Disciples is 122.4. And honestly, the roster looks kind of better, I feel like, for CD's Nuts, even though it's going the other way. But the big deciding factor is you have Josh Allen. He plays for Buffalo, so that's a thing. And he actually plays with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. And I think Josh Allen rolls this week. and just because of that, sorry, CD's nuts. You're not going to win this week, but it's going to be closer than it looks. I think Diddy's Disciples wins by 5 points, and those are my projections for the week. Projections. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I think it means the same thing in this scenario, maybe. But excuse me. That's it. So if you don't like where you're at, what you can do is you can subscribe to my fantasy channel. I have a fantasy channel, but it's subscription only. I would suggest some of you guys pay the service fee. That it's $29.95 a month, and it could help you guys a whole bunch. It can help you guys a whole bunch. So, all right. Well, you guys have a good week, and don't lose hope. Some of you.